talk about the essay. Now this is going to be a little different than what you wrote before because you've got 3 different topics to choose from. You have justice versus chance, so you can talk about why the system is unfair. Or is it possibly fair in some strange, twisted way? You can also talk about civilization versus barbarism. So what makes them civilized? What makes them barbaric? And what about that weird word semi-barbaric, which we're going to be talking about today? As well as selfishness versus compassion. That's more on the part of the princess. How much does her own opinion, her own feelings, influence the justice system? So 3 pages long. The works cited page does not count as one of the 3. That is mucho, mucho, mucho important. And make sure it is completely free from plagiarism. We do not like seeing that at all. So we will be talking more in detail about what we expect from you on Monday. Since the rough draft, I didn't even put down the date for that. Rough draft is due on Tuesday. So write that down. Rough draft is due next Tuesday. And it may be typed or handwritten, but I highly recommend typed.
You'll have time to work on it in class as well.
Yeah, we will have time to work on it in class.
Monday.
Is that the only
And
one we get?
and Wednesday. No, wait, hold on.
No. For the rough draft, we'll have Monday, and then you'll have all day Thursday to work on the final copy and
Yes.
part of Wednesday,
Yes.
I believe.
There we go.
Wait, when is
Okay.
the final copy gonna be due?
Next Friday.
Oh, no.
Because we've got just 2 days for next week. That, oh wait, no, not next week. 2 days after next week. Which is, I mean, you know, they're the days before Christmas break, so we're having fun on these days. Okay, so real fast, we're going to transition, because tomorrow we're going to talk more about justice versus chance, but today we're going to be going over civilization versus barbarism, as well as selfishness versus compassion, because in the story they're kind of interwoven, so it's just the way it works out. So, semi-barbaric. Raise your hand. What do you think of when you hear that? Yes, Graham.
Like, I think of half barbaric and wanting blood and gore and stuff, and half humanity.
Okay.
Wait, I have a question about that. Do you think we're all semi-barbaric?
Yes.
Some, yeah, it's like some more than others, but
Why?
there can be some barbarism in humans, because it depends on your beliefs and your opinions on what you think of is right and wrong.
Raise your hand if you've ever seen Lord of the Rings. That's not the most gory movie, I understand.
I know. It's not
But is there gore in there?
Yes.
There's a bunch of slaughtering of a bunch of orcs and your people and stuff like that. We enjoy watching all the bloodbaths.
And yet, what makes that a civilized movie? That's something to think about. Sorry, just on semi-barbaric. She brought up a point, and I just kind of.
I think it means like not insane, but like I don't know how you put it, like not crazy either, but like when I see barbaric, I think of like loud, obnoxious people. So like, but like or like judgy and opinionated.
Ooh, that's interesting. That's interesting. Because you've got judgy versus opinion. So they can still be intelligent, but still be barbaric. That's very interesting. Okay, Dylan.
I agree with Cassie's point on the intelligence. A lot of times I think of the Romans. They were a very intelligent, very well-built society, but they built a lot of their morals off a complete lookout of apathy. They saw everything as black and white, there was no gray. And a lot of times that causes barbaric trials, such as this, things like the arena. It's a well-built society, and they have morals, they're just not very well built because they place them on apathy.
Dylan, apathy means not caring.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
If you built something not caring, you wouldn't build it at all.
What I'm saying is they had an apathetical view on this. They didn't tend to care about the individual as a person, the emotional background. They didn't care about any of that.
That's not
That
apathy.
It was
makes
all
sense.
black and white.
That's not
It
apathy.
was
That's just lack of-
society as a whole versus the individual.
Yes.
And that makes sense. That makes sense. Y'all are gonna have such a good time writing these.
Question.
Ooh.
Are you gonna work
yes.
on the essays today?
Hopefully.
Not, well, if we have time.
Yes,
Yes.
but-
Yes. And you will be doing an activity that's gonna help you with the essay. So you'll already have a bunch of quotes right there for you to use. So that is good for that. Okay, so semi-barbaric, y'all have already thought, you got a lot of good thoughts about it, but I wanna go a little further. So we've got two sides here. What makes a society civilized? What makes a society barbaric? Take two of your sticky notes and make one for what makes a society civilized, what makes a society barbaric. So everybody's gonna have one for civilized, one for barbaric. When you're done, stick them up on the board. Just what, I really want some nice detailed answers for those questions.
What we think about civilized people and barbaric.
What makes society civilized versus what makes society barbaric? When you're done, in your notes, go on and do a little divider like this. Have civilized on one side, barbaric on one side.
Actually,
We're gonna write down.
draw a tree map.
Oh, okay. Draw a tree map then.
What's
Because she makes a good point, because y'all have been using those maps ever since
No
you
classified
started in
information.
this school, and
Oh,
so
yeah.
we need to continue working with
We
you.
just
So
started
draw,
using them this year.
draw a tree map,
Which one's the tree?
have one side is civilized, one
It's
side
the
is
one with like
barbaric.
the.
That has 3 columns.
It's the
To the
first
left.
column,
Tree map.
second one right here, so tree map.
Guys, you're classifying information here, so that's the thought process we're using.
What's the top
What's the top of it?
We have
one? Ideals.
civilized versus
Barbaric.
how about let's see,
Don't change that.
societies. The topic could be like society,
Oh.
or
That's good. Societies is good. Zach said ideals, which is also good as well.
that's also good. So
Either one of those, whichever
a
one.
Society
headline that
ideals.
makes sense. A headline that makes
Societal
sense.
ideal.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Everybody got something up there. Okay. Everybody look up when you're done with the tree map so I can start reading off some of
Wait, just like
your-
complete it or like start making it?
Start making, because you're gonna
start
start
making
adding
it,
stuff to
because I'm going to be
So just like make the
Giving
frame of it or like
Yep.
make the framework. Because I'll be telling you what to fill it in with.
How many minutes do you need?
Just start small, because I'm going to be reading off from everybody and picking the best. Okay, let's see. Let's start with the left side, civilized. So this is an interesting one. Who wrote that civilized is an already established civilization, or a civilization that's established? Why did you choose established?
Because when I think of civilization, I think of some guy walking on the side of a road looking for civilization.
Have there been any barbaric civilizations that were well established?
Yes,
Like what?
like any civilization.
Well, I'm thinking specifics. When we think
Let's
about
go with
barbaric,
Mao Zedong's China.
true, very
Youth
true.
group? Oh, that was fun.
How about the Aztecs? Ripping out the heart,
That's pretty
sacrifice to the
barbaric.
sun god. So, it's interesting. So would you say that maybe this is both? We could have a semi-barbaric civilization that is very well established and still have bits of barbarism?
You can't not be barbaric and not be civilized. You can't. They all always overlap.
Well, that's what we're really finding out with this activity. So, but we're still looking at, like, if we were gonna have black and white, what would be sort of the black, what would be sort of the white? So this was an interesting
That's
point. I
great.
just wanted to bring it up because it does have a sense of duality to it.
Alright.
Okay. Civilized. A sane leader. That's definitely part of civilization. That's, go on and write that down.
What was
A
it?
sane leader to rule the people. Because if the leader's not sane, then the people are certainly not going to follow through. Ooh, very good one. The ability to differentiate between logic and emotion. We teachers need to differentiate all the time. So, does anyone know what differentiate means?
Make it.
Take
It's the ability to separate one thing from another. If I can differentiate my logic from my emotion, I can separate the logic that I see and the emotion that I feel and understand them as two separate entities.
As well as work differently for those two separate entities, so that way they're both healthy and whole. So this is definitely, yeah, I'm gonna get it. This is definitely good. Differentiate between logic and emotion. Communication. Effective communication. Oh my word. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. This is good for relationships. This is one of the reasons why things just don't work out. People don't talk. There are so many movies where they just won't talk.
I was dating some kid in 4th grade. We dated from 4th to 7th grade. It lasted so long because we didn't talk.
That is awful.
Then I broke up with them.
So essentially you were both just dating each other so no one else would bother you about dating them.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I can think of a reason this real broke up when you weren't talking.
I know.
Nobody's ain't Dylan now.
Well, alright. Here's a good one. Let's see. Civilized society is orderly as a whole, but a civilized person, we're getting even deeper now, is someone who is calm and collective in a time of distress. So an even thinker. That is very, very key. I like that. Ooh, not biased. This is also a very good one. Yes.
Civilization cannot be biased. Like, the United States is clearly biased towards democracy, and China is clearly biased towards communism.
Democracy is just better.
Democracy is better, yeah.
It's true. Being able to look at all points equally without just completely condemning someone. Having healthy discussion, again, communication. This is a good running theme here. Definitely be thinking about communication. That could be something you can bring up in your essay. Okay. Responsible people. Yes, responsibility. People who do not take responsibility for their actions, well, cause everything to fall down. So this is a very, very key point. Let's see. Fair treatment. We will be, of course, talking about that a lot. But fair treatment, and what constitutes fair treatment? So that it's a broad point with many underlying things. Okay. Let's see. Compassion. Compassion. That is also a key point. So write that down. Very good. We have lots of good points. Lots of good thoughts. All right, I am moving on to barbarism. All right. So unfair punishment, of course. And a barbaric person is someone who is very opinionated, loud, and outspoken. Agree or disagree? Raise your hand.
Disagree.
Why?
Because you can be loud and outspoken, that doesn't mean you're going to take an action cut someone's head in half.
That is true. Dylan?
Yeah.
And it depends on what you say too. Like if you're loud and outspoken, if you
I feel like
fight
barbaric
for
is
what's
more
right,
emotional.
technically that might be civilized. It depends on how you say it and how you follow up your words, like Zach said.
So, this could be a barbaric person, only if they're talking about something that is barbaric, right?
Because you can have a loud and outspoken street fighter or a loud and outspoken lawyer, but they're two very different things.
Yes.
Exactly, exactly. So this could be a component, though. Very good thoughts. All right. The want for blood and gore. Ooh,
It's
ooh.
not really barbaric.
The lower order. Well, but you're appealing for, would you say a bloodlust, a desire for death? Is that something civilized or barbaric?
It's not
Very
anything. Barbaric is not a
It's human.
lust. No one just wants bloodlust unless they have a mental condition.
But question though. I think what this person is trying to point out is for the fact that we have our society today. Do you remember a couple years ago, Michael Vick?
Yeah.
He got into trouble for
Yes.
That was more than a couple years
For
ago.
I know, but I can't remember how much it was.
Dog fighting.
dog fighting. That's what it was. So that kind of I think that is like part of man is part like, oh, we want to fight, we want to be better than somebody else, so we're gonna have our dogs fight. Okay, so but that's kind of barbaric in a way because the civilized people are like, oh, that's terrible.
Well, that is barbaric, but just because it's violent doesn't mean it's barbaric.
That's true.
Barbaric
But
doesn't apply to violence. It applies to.
if I want to go chop off everybody's heads, is that barbaric or civilized?
Barbaric is basically when you look out only.
Well, it depends if
Right,
they
to
do something
yourself.
to you.
No, single point of view.
It depends.
These are good points.
Because if they didn't do something to you, then it's barbaric. But if they didn't do something to you, it's revenge. I mean, it kind of is civilized.
I think it's barbaric regardless of what you do because look at Bloody Mary.
I don't know.
She was a queen.
No, actually look at her, okay? What did she do? Just because someone didn't believe in Catholicism, she did what?
Chopped their heads off.
And burned
Elizabeth I technically also did that, so. And yet,
So they're
who
all
is
done.
remembered as the civilized queen?
But and there's an interesting fact about Bloody Mary I have to tell you later, but
Don't stand in
No,
the mirror
it's-
and say Bloody Mary.
very, very cool. Anyway, but I think one of the major things about this is bloodlust. It depends on the perspective. Like I deer hunt. We eat the meat when once we've killed
So
the
is
animal.
that barbaric?
And we don't consider it barbaric. We're making good use of what's left of the animal. I mean, you can clean the deer antlers and give them to your dogs as bones.
It's true.
But what
But-
did the deer do to you?
But at the
Like
exact
it.
same time, there's people like that who see just because I'm killing an animal, it's barbaric. But you eat beef and pork and chicken.
Yeah, but I didn't go out and straight and kill the animal.
Someone is. So you're doing.
But at the same
Hold
time,
on.
someone
Guys,
killed
guys,
it. It just brings up an
This-
interesting
this
topic for
is-
discussion.
It is an interesting topic for
Someone
discussion,
did
and I'm so glad y'all have brought up the connection between a civilized society and a barbaric society, and that it seems you're saying a civilized society is compassionate. I really, really like this. Barbarism is caused by a lack of empathy. You're really, really seeing the connection. So basically, someone who's barbaric is someone who's selfish.
So it comes back to bias.
It does come back to bias. It comes back to morals. It comes back to what you're made of. So this, awesome. All of this, we want to see you thinking about and looking at in detail. Because I know you're writing a paper, but these are deep issues.
Well,
And it's, for me, sometimes I find it's easier to really dig into something.
You want it to be completely up to proportion.
That
They want
would be a
they want it to be out
hypothetical
of chance.
that I would like to see you discuss, because that's something, I really think that's something for the paper, because I really want you to experience in this paper,
A good grade.
yes, but the thought process, y'all are giving me so much good stuff, I want you to explore it. You have so much to talk about in class. All you have to do is just put your thoughts on a piece of paper, make them a little organized, and boom, you're arguing. I want you to convince me. I want you to dig deeper, because then I think you'll really discover a joy in what you're saying.
Joy and arguing.
I like to hear some of Zach's arguments, which is why I'm very, very interested in reading all of your papers. I'm going to have a great weekend next weekend. I'm going to be grading all your papers and reading all of your lovely.
I'll be writing as well. I'm excited about it, so I'll be writing on the essays as well.
Or you're gonna write
you're
all
gonna
of
write
them.
an essay.
I kind of want to write number one.
Are you gonna write a terrible essay and a not as
I
terrible
write because that
essay?
was fun last time.
It was awful.
Dentures.
Okay,
Dentures.
so. Okay,
I think my
we
grandma
already
was
did that.
dentures.
Alright, so.
You have to unfreeze
For
your
the
phone.
next, oh, that's why, okay. Well, it's the same thing, we just had a problem where it went back.
Pointing at the board. It's stupid. I need to get new batteries for it.
It is silly. So, for our last thing that we're doing, this piece of paper is gonna be such a good friend for your essay, because we are looking at the clues that lead either to the lady or the tiger. And these are the clues, not just from the princess, but from the story. I know the author leaves it ambiguous, but is there a clear answer? Some people argue that there is, so I argue. Good. Then, because here though, I want you to find the exact quotes.
The textual
This
evidence.
is going to help you for your essay. Seriously, having all of this at your fingertips, so that way you don't have to flip through the sheet going, okay, I knew it talked about it somewhere. Where was it? Why can't I find it? It's late at night. Okay, I'm back. So this is going
That's
to.
like Bailey.
Hey,
It's me.
in college, trust me, this learning these little tips now It's going to save you a world of hurt. So I want you to fill up the whole page. You've got 5 quotes for each side. It's going to help you so much. So think about it from the princess's perspective. Think about it from the narrator's perspective. Because he almost is a character, would you say, in the way that he tells the story.
I think the
What do we do with the
And
last one?
we're going to save the last sticky note for we'll do another thing, but we're going to do this page first.
I don't have any